What's going on? How y'all doing out there? What's happening YouTube? So Luka Doncic's daddy said that Luka has still got a ways to go before he's as good as Drazen Petrovic. And that's a high compliment, but it's not a diss. Some people will think, well, Luka's got to a finals. He's balling with the Lakers. He's got all this. He's called Baby Bird, but it's like his father knows. Sometimes when people who have been witnesses to seeing greatness and what happens, they don't go for just a fad or something that's just happening. Now, that's not to say that Luca is a fad and that it's just gonna fade away and it's faddish and all that, because he definitely can ball, he can move, and he can twirl and do a lot of things. But Detroit Petrovic, before he was tragically taken away, that dude was bad. That dude was a pure shooter. When you hear somebody like Reggie Miller saying he's probably the greatest shooter he ever saw at that time, this is what, 25, 30 years before Steph Curry emerged and before Ray Allen hit his groove. That's a heck of a compliment. He was getting better for the Nets too. I watched him play. He kept getting better. And this was during an era when jump shooting like that was not the norm. So let me put it to you like this. What he was doing with his increased volume of scoring, if he played today, he probably would be pushing near 30 points a game, especially with the three-point line and the no checking and everything. He would have been something else. And so his Luca's daddy saw something in him that he definitely saw a light bulb, and he thought this cat was bad. And he was. He said the corruption guy was an incredible talent. And so often than not, again, people get excited by what's happening now, and you understandably so. But before you compare somebody to somebody, you got to do your history. And Petrovic was a bad dude. I mean, he bust your cakes, and he was consistent, and he was getting better. Because before Peja Starkovich started balling, there was Detroit, and this was an era where a lot of people don't understand. European players being big time in the NBA was a big deal. We go back 30 years ago, up until I want to say to probably about, dare I say, like a little over 20 years ago, to Dirk started winning MVPs and stuff. It was still a big deal if a European player could come over and dominate and leave a mark. But Petrovic left a mark, you know. I seen cats who were, you know, the respect was there because the type of defense, the type of man to man, the physicality, the bumps off the screens, the stuff that you don't get to see today. You don't get to see that. And so when you understand how a guy can put the ball, and he started playing with grown men when he was 15. So if you do your research on this, and you might think Luca's father is just trying to like egg him on or downplay his son's significance. He's not. He's not, because Petrovic was a better within the concepts of the team. Luka sometimes, as talented as he is, he can be a little bit loosey goosey. When he's playing in rhythm, he's fine. But there's a reason why, you got to keep the structure and everything that's going on. But it's a heck of a compliment if you knew how bad Drake Petrovic was, because he could really ball. And I always hold cats from that era in a high regard because the competition was steep. It's, as much as I like Jokic, for instance, right? Arvidas Sabonis would run circles around him because you got to remember he was playing like that back then. He just didn't come to the NBA. But believe me, his skill set, and you got to think about it. So you got to know your past to get to your present to understand your future. Because a lot of times people short sighted. But I respect Luka Doncic's father for saying that, because that's got to motivate Luka to get better. Petrovic had done enough in a short time. In his all too brief NBA career, he left a lasting part and impact. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. And the membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.